Hey everybody, this is Miko with the Permanent Empire, and you know what today is. You know what today is. It is Wednesday. Now, I don't know when you're catching this video. You might be catching it on the replay, but it is Wednesday, and on Wednesdays, I do my midweek check-in with everyone. I'm checking in. I want to see how everyone's week is going. This is kind of a time where we hold each other accountable a little bit too. We set our goals for the beginning at the beginning of the week usually, right? You set your goals at the beginning of the week and you want to execute on those goals, right? Because the whole thing about this in business is execution, right? So on Wednesdays, I go ahead, I check in because I want to see how everyone's week is going. And of course, like I said, this is about accountability as well. So not just checking in, but hey, we want to make sure that we're all setting goals that we can kind of stay on a path to getting those goals obtained, to obtaining those goals. So for the most part, hey, here it goes. It's Wednesday, midweek check-in, just checking in, see how everyone is doing. So I'm going to go ahead and start with myself. And let me tell you what's going on with me this week. So I set out my goals this week. Now, if you know, I did initially set some goals that, hey, I wanted to start work a little bit earlier. Hey, Shotza, good to see you in here. But yeah, so for the most part, I try to start work a little bit earlier. So this week so far, I have been starting work. I've actually been starting work a little bit earlier because as you can see, with the time changing, it's gets dark earlier, and I do not want to be caught up too much out in the dark, because I can tend to work later. So I've been starting a little bit early, been getting some things accomplished, sending out emails, just following up, even with the building departments, because a lot of the building departments start actually pretty early. So I've been able to kind of just get a jump start or head start at least on even getting some status updates on some of the permits, some of the projects that I have going out. And even I've noticed some of my clients, they actually start pretty early too. So it's been easier for me to kind of touch bases, do some follow-ups to get them out of the way pretty early. That way I'm also kind of beating that rush of people getting to the building departments or making phone calls and all of that stuff. So I have been definitely on top of that this week. Last week, I actually started a couple weeks ago, but I've definitely been on top of it, definitely been sticking to it, making sure that I get that accomplished, right? So, also just had a few other things going. I have been trying to get my website together for quite some time, right? For quite some time. It was me the reason why it hasn't been done because I took a whole pause on it and just said, hey, I'll get to it. I'll get back to it. But I do know it is super important to have that website up and functional and operational. And usually I'm talking more about getting our social media together because that's what I know that people are finding me there, right? I know that people are going there to look for me. And that's what a lot of businesses do. I also do the same. I'm going to social media, people's social media accounts to see if, hey, is this a business I can use? Can I reach out to them? I get your contact information, everything, even right there from your social media. But that doesn't negate the fact that having a website is super important. So guess what? I've been kind of, putting that on the back burner though. But I've been working on it for a couple of weeks now, and I actually did send that out to have somebody work on it, and I just don't like it. And I am not a creative person, so I can't even figure out exactly what to tell them to say. Hey, I want it to look like this, and I'm telling them, like I'm showing them some examples, but for some reason there's some kind of disconnect. Maybe it's just, I don't know, it's just not happening. So that's what I've been working on this week because I figured, hey, I'd at least have that website up and going so I can say, hey, everyone, look at my website, check it out, see what you think. It's not going that smooth for whatever reason. Could be, part of me, because I'm not 100% sure what I want. I just know I want things to be pretty streamlined, easy to get to. I want it to be, of course, appealing to look at, but hey, you feel me? So I know, because that's one of those things. I want it to look good, but I'm that design thing that goes beyond me. I'm not that good at that kind of stuff, right? So yes, I've definitely been trying to get some of those things taken care of. Now, going into this week, also, I kind of I don't know why or what was happening so much, but I thought I would. Here's how I do it, right? I usually base kind of like what's going on this month off of what happened last year. I kind of keep that okay. If it's going to be a little bit slow, I know it's going to be a little bit slow because it was a little bit slow last year, the year before. Like I keep track of things like that. And for some reason, I was under the impression that maybe it'll slow down just a little bit for me. And that way I'd be able to jump on some of those other little tasks that I have. And things like really picked up over the this week and last week. Things really, really picked up for me. So I have been so busy, so very busy with permits. And I actually have one of my clients, I have a project property management company that I do some work for too, right? They don't need permits, but for the most part, they need me to research some of their properties. They manage quite a few properties in the South Florida area, some that are on the beach, and they're kind of going through that phase right now where they have to do updates with the insurance companies on a lot of the buildings. So there is certain documents that they need retrieved for the insurance to go ahead and process or renew their policies. So I've been doing a lot of those. I've been doing a lot of document retrieval, um, much more than I did last year. Even just recently, so much more document retrieval. So right, that's one of those things. If like, don't overlook the property management companies because they need notaries. They definitely need a notary. I went to pick up something from I went to pick up a check from them actually, and they also needed something notarized as well, right? Because a lot of those companies, they're dealing with um document that has to be notarized. They're dealing with specific or specialty type documents that need to be notarized. They're also dealing with like certain permit applications and those things that need to be notarized. So I've been getting a lot more of those. They actually gave me 7 more properties to research the documentation for the insurance purposes. So I've been just kind of doing a lot of that as well. But things have actually really picked up. I know that people are trying to get things accomplished before the holidays set in. And I was speaking to another one of my clients today, and just kind of asking him because he's a newer client for me. So I wanted to find out for him, does he take off like Christmas, those last couple of weeks of the year, like so many of my other clients do? And he said the same thing. Yes, he does too, because guess what? Everything's starting to shut down at that point. All the manufacturers are shutting down at that point. So I guess everyone's trying to gear up. And that's what he was saying. He has quite a few projects going. And he's trying to gear up to get all of that stuff done. He's going to go ahead and order material early, get the permits together for them so they can get the ball rolling on that. Hey, Sabrina, good to see you in here. Thank you so much for tuning in. So yeah, there's just been a lot. There's been like an uptick in just construction lately. That's something that I've definitely noticed. So some of my projects, my actual workload has increased, whereas I thought that it probably drop off a little bit just because we're going into the end of the year, and that's kind of how it goes. I noticed that sometimes as we get closer to December, it slows up just a little bit, but absolute opposite today. Absolute opposite as of at this point. I noticed that there is just a little bit of a more of a pickup. Like I said, I kind of just um look at the previous, what was going on before, and I judge according to that, right? So not that it falls off, not at all. Like it usually still is busy, but I noticed it got busier than normal, which is a good thing. I was looking even at my numbers so far for this month, right? I was looking at what I've made for this month so far versus what I made last year, this same month. Because that's another thing I also do. I compare, hey, what did I make last year at this time? What are my total figures? What were my figures for the month? Usually I do a breakdown like per month. What were my figures last year, this month, as compared to this year, this month? And I've already surpassed what I made last year for the month. So, like I said, I see that there's like an uptick. So, I have really, really, really just been kind of busy. And then the other thing, it's been raining here all day. All day it's been raining. So I haven't even had a chance. Like I had to go out a couple times, got caught in the rain because guess what? It is not slowing up at all today. It's just been a consistent rain from this morning, just consistently raining. So of course I'm out getting caught in the rain and not trying to do so much because it's really bad weather and traffic ain't that good either. So I'm trying not to do as much in and with the weather being the way it is today. But even with that, I had to go out and still pick up. I had a new permit come in. I had to pick that up, get the documents for that so that I can get everything submitted out for tomorrow. So really, I have definitely, like I said, I've definitely been sticking to my goals even more so, right? And like I said, we're going into the fourth quarter. There's so much talk about like an economic downturn. So even more so, those goals that we're setting, they need to step it up a notch. They got to go up just a little bit. We got to turn it up a little bit. We got to turn that down just a little bit, because here's the thing. With that being said, a lot of the information that is going out, what it does is it kind of puts you in a state of fear almost, right? So we know we got to cut back on this. We know we have to, stop spending on this, and it puts us kind of in a state of fear. But what we should do is even take that information that we're giving, that hey, maybe things are slowing down, maybe there's a downturn, but we take that and we apply it to our business and turn it up just a notch, pivot. Even if you have to add a few more services to your already existing business. And that is why I like to talk about permit running so much too, because even with that, there is still a need for that service, right? There's still a need for that service. Even with, yes, certain industries have slowed down a little bit. Sure, they have, right? Time to pivot, time to turn it up a notch. And you can also, with that same business structure, with that same business name, even with some of the same things you're using for that main business. A lot of people already have scanners and printers, all of that stuff, right? Now it's time to pivot and also pick up on other services that can keep your business going, right? It's time to, yes, we have to go on social media and post our business a little bit more, right? Yes, we have to talk to people a little bit more about the services that we do offer, right? Yes, we have to do some networking, a little bit more networking to get in front of our potential clients. Right now, it's just a really good time when we're setting our goals to, hey, yes, consider that. Sure, there might be an economic downturn. Sure, there might be like a shortage of certain things, but we take that information and we utilize that to power us to set even more higher goals than what we would have normally done, right? And so now we are reaching for those goals by turning up the notch on our business, on our services, on our promoting, right? On our networking, on our marketing. Because yes, it's the fourth quarter. So we want to hit this quarter hard, right? So that we go into the next year strong. That's the whole goal. We want to go into the next year strong. I was listening to something, a podcast or something. I'm not sure what it was, but I was listening to something the other day, and it was so interesting. I found it so interesting that one of the hosts was saying, they were talking about the fact that people have kind of adapted in general to, hey, there's an economic downturn, by doing a lot of the gigs or side gigs, side hustles, those type of things, right? Because people are recognizing that, hey, yes, things may be changing, but with that being said, I don't have to get left behind, because there is still work out there. You find an industry where there is still a need, right? You still can get direct clients who are giving you work, like I said, each and every week. With permit running, that's the way this goes. In a lot of cases, you'll have clients who are constantly giving you work, that you're not always having to, okay, this project's done, now what? Now I'm starting from scratch again, right? No, not the case, right? A lot of the cases, a lot of the situation is when you're getting those direct clients in whatever business it is that you have going on, right? But when you're getting those direct clients, it's a consistent movement for you, because it's bringing in a consistent stream of income, right? Because that client, especially with permit running, right? That client is on their own selves, right? Constantly looking for work to keep their business afloat. So as they get more business, they are passing more business along to you, because hey, they have their group or their core individuals or core businesses that they deal with. And so in a lot of cases, you're part of that as the permit runner, as the notary on staff, or not even necessarily on staff, but as the notary on the team, right? You keep yourself at a valuable state when you can provide even more than just, like I said, you're the permit runner, you're the notary on, on the team, those different things that you can offer services for, right? That keeps you going. So each and every week while we're setting our goals, right? Those are things that we should be looking at, not allowing it to cause fear to set in, right? Not at all. But we should allow that to say, hey, okay, I guess I need to turn up this notch just a little bit, because I also did the same thing too. I said, hey, okay, with all of this talk, you know what? I need to get a new client. Got a new client, added a new client to the list, right? Because guess what? I get it too. I understand how this goes. You might see things out there. You're like, oh, there might be some trouble on the horizon. But with that being said, turn it up a notch. you can get yourself right in front of more of your potential clients, right? Scorpio of Rose, houses and apartments are still being built in DFW. I see construction outside. See, that's exactly right, right? That's exactly right. And that's not even everybody who's doing work to their apartment or to their condo or to their, townhome. There's so much other things even going on. Other construction is happening, right? It's happening. And it's just another industry where you need to explore the possibilities of expanding your business into that arena so that you can also continue to get that additional income coming in, that steady stream of income coming in, right? That is the thing. What I have noticed, and I've been talking about this a little bit lately too, is even in government contracting, right? Let's say you don't necessarily get the contract, right? The government contract, but there are still projects that the government is doing, right? The government didn't run out of money. The government is still having those contracts going, right? And you can even partner up with some of the contractors on a lot of those projects to act as their permit runner. They still need people for those types of services, right? There's still a need for the service. So it's just something that you might want to consider, even like I said, each week we need to be setting those goals. Hey, this is what we're reaching for this week. This is because there's a goal, right? There's a main goal, right? That's what it is. In our business, we have a main goal set. A lot of times it's just staying afloat, right? A lot of times that's just it. We're like, hey, I just need to make enough money to pay my bills and all of that stuff. But what if you could even do more? Right? What if you could do more than just, hey, I'm staying afloat. Hey, I'm paying some bills or cutting it close. What if you could do a little bit more than that? Right? What if you still also had enough money? Hey, okay, this business is going great, great. Now let me add this into it, or maybe consider even shifting or pivoting just a little bit to get one new client, right? To get one new client, I may have to step it up just a little bit and get one new client, right? What difference would that make? What difference would that make to your bottom line, to your goals, to your bank account, right? To your life? What difference could that make for you? If we step it up just a notch, just turn it up just a little bit, we go into the week, hey, we got our goals set, we know what we need to do, we know what route we need to take to get there, or at least we have a plan of action, right? That is what we should be doing each and every week. Listen, I have to do it myself. I've been in business for a few years now. Like I said, it started in 2018, and I started as an insurance agent. Now, when that was not panning out so well for me, I'm not saying that insurance is bad. I'm just saying, right? I wasn't making enough money because I noticed here was the thing for me, right? It was a consistent me trying to start over almost. Okay, now that I've got this one client, hey, I'm going to make commission off of this. Yes, now on to the next client. I have to keep finding new clients and new clients and new clients. And I noticed, hey, okay, at some point, I'm going to have to get some consistency going for myself. And so once I pivoted just a bit and picked up my first client in permit running, I said, okay, this is not a bad thing, right? Because hey, that first client had permits for me to do right away, right? But then the following week they called me again and said, hey, we have some more. Then the following week they called me again and said, hey, we have some more. And then as I started adding on clients, on clients, on clients, more clients, right? Then I noticed they all were doing the same, just about. Now, some clients you'll have that are a little bit smaller. They don't have projects every week, but their goal is also to make to make more money each week. So they're obtaining new clients. And as they obtain those new projects and those new clients, they're pushing it your way so that you can handle that permit for them and make sure that everything is submitted. So, but a way to do that, to make sure that you're in their face to say, hey, I'm available. I offer this services. We have to make sure that we are promoting our services. We have to make sure that we are visible. Do people actually know that you also offer this additional service or provide this additional service? Right? Who could you possibly help? Do they know that you could help them? Right? Scorpio of Rose, you purchased my boot camp yesterday. Okay, the plan is to do online permits. I have to do it after work to start off. Thanks for this good information. Yes, thank you so much for purchasing the boot camp. I appreciate that. But yes, and here's the thing, right? You can do it around your schedule because it's online. And that's the thing. In a lot of cases, and I'm going to say maybe in your case, it is online. For the most part, it's online in a lot of people's cases, right? most of the building departments in my area. I do the Tri-County area, right? I spread out from Miami-Dade, Broward County, Palm Beach County. Not that all of you know that area, but it's a large area, right? So I spread out, but I can do that because a lot of it's online. Hey, so I'm submitting a permit down in Miami-Dade. I'm going from Miami to Palm Beach County, easily an hour apart, like, but I can have all of that done in a day, and I can do it around my schedule. If, let's say, I had a job or something else I was doing in business or whatever, I still would be able to do that around my schedule because the online permitting systems are 24 hours, 7 days a week. So if by chance you can't even Thursday, Friday, you've been just stretched too thin, you got a lot to do, then just do it on Saturday. Just do it over the weekend, right? But it's something that you could possibly consider adding to your business because, at this point, just adding something additional could take you so much further, right? It could keep you afloat, could keep you going, right? It could keep your bank account in the positive, right? And in some cases that it comes down to just being that simple, right? Just that simple. Hey, you know, this may not even be a business you want to do forever. I'm just being real, right? Because a lot of people, I do know a lot of people who watch my videos, they're already doing something else. And that something else may have just slowed up, just like so many other things, right? So this is something in addition to that business, just to keep them going until that business picks back up. And that's fine too, because it is your business, right? And you can choose that, right? You can choose that. So really it's definitely about, let's say we're setting those goals, we're making sure our businesses are flourishing and are staying afloat, and that is super important, right? That is really important. If jobs dry up, you have a job, you have your business, right? You have your business, and you can just keep that going. Like I said, you can keep adding on to your business. You may have to turn up that dial a little bit, turn up that notch a little bit, so that you can start going at another level. Hey, I'm making sure that my business is out in front of more people this week. Maybe I'm promoting a little bit more, right? Maybe I've got advertisement on my vehicle so people can see what it is that I'm doing. Maybe that's something that you're doing, right? No problem, Shanta. We're here for each other, right? But maybe that's something that you just gotta do, right? To get that first client. And I've been so happy because lately, like I said on my video from last week, I had someone who I've been working with and they got a new client. And then they got more. They actually text me or messaged me today. They got more permits from that client. And that's the goal, right? As these other things may be drying up a little bit, but if you pivot just a little bit and add that extra right into your business, you can see it that you'll be able to continue to go, right? You'll be able to continue to grow and move with your business, right? Pat is asking, can you market if you work full time? Absolutely. You should market while you're working full time. You really, really should. I do know, like when I started with insurance, I had a full-time job. So I was doing that in addition, right? And that was insurance, but still, people had to know about me. People have to know about you because, again, right, Pat? Here's the thing, this is something that's done online in a lot of areas, right? Permitting right now is done online in a lot of areas, right? So this is something that even if you got a client, you could still work around your schedule with even permit submissions and permit pickups, permit drop-offs. This is something that you can do to work around your schedule as well. So you really should be, even if you have a full-time job, you should be marketing. Because listen, a lot of contractors are actually even online. A lot of contractors will send you a message. And I mean, even if you're doing any other type of advertising, I know some people go out to different areas and pass out business cards or whatever the case is. Well, those clients will still, they'll leave you a message and you can still reach out to them. And hey, guess what? Offer them the services that you provide. Offer them those services. You don't have to sit in their office per se. You can still do your job as normal. Like I said, do your business as normal, do all the things that you do as normal, but you also are adding that and additionally into your business. But you got to get out there. You got to get yourself out there, right? People got to know that you do it. So yes, Sabrina, great goal. Great goal. Yes. Oh, yes, Marie. Absolutely. No problem. No problem. Like I said, we are here for each other and we got to keep each other motivated. With that being said, we have to hold each other accountable, right? Sometimes it's just good to have other people who are working on some of the same goals you're working on to keep you pushing, to keep you motivated, right? So that's what this is all about. I always want to make sure I'm checking in with you guys, making sure that we're all staying on track. We have our goals that we should be setting every week for our business. Like I said, I know some people break it down into even days, what we're doing each day. But, and that's great. And that is great because that really will put you on a good path. That game plan, even when it gets to down to that, hey, each day what I'm going to be doing. Every day when I get up, this is the goal for the day. This is on the agenda for the day. That's even great, right? That'll definitely keep you motivated if you have a goal to work towards. I know in business, a lot of times, if you don't have a goal, right? Because I've been here, at least I'm speaking for myself on this one. If you don't have a goal, you don't have anything in place, and you're just getting up and you're just going, you'll forget things. Things will slip by. You'll find out that, hey, I'm not on top of this, or hey, I'm not even pushing my business forward. Hey, I not even making it to any of the networking events. I'm not doing any of those things. And you'll see that, hey, you're losing a grip on your business, right? Because truth be told, we have to continue to market ourselves. Now, that goes without saying. We have to do that. But you will find, hey, that if you don't even have any goals set, that you'll be kind of just out here winging it. You'll just be out here winging it. Whatever happens, it happens. That's good or bad, right? Nothing might happen for you in your business. That's bad, right? Because the whole goal is to get new clients, to make more money. Those are the things that we're looking to do. And to do that, we need to set these goals in place, right? I know I keep talking about the same thing every week, setting these goals, but it's super important for us. I live by that guideline. We have to do that in business. Sharon, you're asking, do I still do consultations? Yes, I do still do. I do still have consultations. I still offer consultations. Yes. And it is in the about section because guess what? My website's still not together, Sharon. I don't like it. So I had to I couldn't release that. So but my consultations are in the about section. So I am still doing consultations though. So you can definitely check it out there. But yes, we want to make sure that, hey, in order to stay in business, and especially at a time like this, it's a good idea to actually have your business up and running. It's a good idea, even if you have a job, right? It's still a good idea to have something going on as well. Like I said, I started as an insurance agent. I haven't stopped that. I haven't cut that completely off. I don't focus on it as much, but hey, I do know that if I need to add some additional income, hey, I know. Let's go ahead. Let's get this going. Hey, Tommy, good to see you in here, fingerprinting gurus. But yes, so like I said, even with that, I know the truth is it does not hurt me to have those extra services that I can provide, right? And especially when things are to the point with permitting, a lot of that stuff's online. A lot of it's online. You don't even have to leave your house, it's online, right? You can actually be working from your living room, processing permits online, uploading, sending out, communicating with your clients. Those are things that you can be doing. Hey, Tamika, good to see you in here. But those are all things that you can be doing and still assisting your client and still being a great asset for your client. I like to look at it more or less as we're on a team, right? You're still a valuable part of the team. You're a great team member and you haven't even left your home, right? You are processing right from home. So, and that's in a lot of cases. Yes, absolutely. There'll be times that you'll need to go out. You'll need to meet with your client. That's business. There are times you need to meet with your client. You may have to submit a permit in person. That's just the way this is, right? But when you can find something where you can, hey, actually make a decent living and not even having to do so very much. That's just what that is, right? I'm not telling you that it's like, oh, I'm never working. Oh, I'm just floating by. No, but in the grand scheme of things, right? Once you get that direct client, once you get a direct client, you have someone who's continuously giving you work. So it's not like you have to continuously market to that person to get them to give you more work, or you have to, okay, I have to make sure that, they got this, they got that. No, no, no. The fact of the matter that you have now, obtained them as a direct client, each week when they get new projects, they'll be looking for you. And then it's a matter of you getting all the documents submitted. Yes, you're going to need to be on top of, things as time management and, documents and all that. Yeah, sure, you will definitely need to be on top of that. So I'm not promising anybody that you are getting rich and you are doing nothing. That is not what I'm doing. And if I've ever made anybody think that, please, I apologize, because no, you are definitely still putting in work with this business, such as any other business. You're definitely putting in work, right? You definitely are. But this is such a good opportunity for those of you who are already a notary. You're already a notary. You're already a loan signing agent, and things are just getting a little bit slow, right? It's a really good opportunity for you to pivot. And at this time, it's good to have something that you can pivot to, because in a lot of cases, I do know that a lot of people are business owners and they don't want to necessarily go back to a job. I have nothing against a job. I'll be honest with you. I've had many good jobs, or not many. I haven't worked at a whole lot of jobs, but I've had good experiences at my workplaces. But I do understand the truth is I can make so much more money on my own versus when I do work for someone. So that for me was the big kicker. Like, that was definitely the thing that stuck out for me, right? That motivated me to go ahead and step out, right? Yes, yes, Tommy. Fingerprinting gurus. It's always excellent to have several complementary niches to your business. Absolutely. Absolutely. It always is. If you can, just have additional services that you can provide, it's always good. That won't hurt, right? That's always good to have, right? Yes. But definitely, if you are willing to put in the time, put in the effort, right? You got to put in some time, you got to put in the effort, you got to market. People got to know that's what you do. But once you can get things going and you get those direct clients and they're constantly giving you work, I mean, sure, you're initially going to have to put that time in, but that is where you notice that, hey, I have a little bit of, um, there's a little bit of like I can definitely continue like my business with this stream. I can continue, I can build upon this, right? Right? I have some consistency inside of even my income. I pretty much can guarantee, okay, I'm going to be making this kind of money, right? You know what I mean? That's right. Own or be owned. That Andre Hatchett. Now, that's the genius right there. That's the notary goat right there. But yes, so definitely something you should look into. Now, I don't want to keep you guys too late. I'm getting a little bit over 30 minutes, but it's Wednesday, so I have to check in on you and make sure that, hey, we're all moving and that we're all staying on the path. We're all, working on our goals. Like I said, it's not just for you, it is for me as well. I want to thank each and every one of you for tuning into this video and into this live. I want to thank you so much. If you are catching it on a replay, I want to thank you for tuning into the video. So I want you to know that I truly, truly appreciate it. And if you have any questions, you have any comments, you have any input, any insight, go ahead, leave that in the comment section for me. And I look forward to chit-chatting with you later.